They've done a great job putting some nice tables together. So it's my pleasure today to introduce today's speaker and why we all came today, Mayor George Yukich. Mayor Yukich has been a Homer Glen resident since 1991 and has served the village in a number of capacities before being elected to the office of mayor. He has an extensive background in the Homer Glen Foundation, the Committee to Incorporate, and the Homer Athletic Club, just to name a few. George is also a small businessman. George is married to Rachel and has 3 children. So please join me in welcoming Mayor George Yukich to the stage.
I'd like to welcome everyone here. It's nice to see all these smiling faces. And it impresses me, seeing it's a work day, how many people have shown up, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Homer Glen Village presentation. First of all, I ask you to join me in thanking Chairman Mitch Hart, Board of Directors of the Chamber of Commerce for organizing today's event. I would also like to acknowledge some very important people and agencies. I'd like to recognize and thank Village Trustees Carlo Caprio, Brian Berrien, Keith Gray, Christina Knightsky-Troike, Beth Rogers, Sharon Swees, and Village Clerk Ann Holtz. Could the Village Trustees and Village Clerk who are with us today please stand and join me in acknowledging their continued commitment to the village? Come on, stand up. I'd also like to thank Village Manager Mike Mertens and members of the village staff. It is the village staff who carry out the policies and directives of the board. They make it all happen. And a number of volunteer committees also give generously of their time to provide guidance and recommendations to the village board and the staff. I want to express my appreciation to each of you for your continued hard work on behalf of the residents of Homer Glen. Would our staff members and village committee volunteers please stand up and be recognized? I promise this won't be real long. Our intergovernmental partnerships are a strategic priority for the village of Homer Glen. A number of area and regional elected and appointed officials are here from governmental entities. In particular, I would like to recognize Margot, who's going to be coming in today, and Kathy Hilton is coming in her place. Thank you, Kathy. We have the city administrator from Lockport, Ben Benson, Lockport Alderman Darren Deskin, Lockport Alderwoman, but says not Renee Sapin, Mayor of Lamont, John Gowski. We really appreciate our intergovernmental partners, including the representatives who are here today from the Homer Township Library District, School District C33C, Lockport Township High School District, the Homer Township Road District, the Will County Sheriff's Office, the Homer Township Fire Protection District, Northwest Homer Fire Protection District, the Will County Center of Economic Development, the Chicago South End Convention and Visitors Bureau, and Joliet College. Please join me in thanking them with your applause. Laying the groundwork for our future. Improving the quality of life for our residents is the core of what the village does. Our priority is making certain that residents enjoy a high level of service and convenience without any municipal property tax for general operations. Homer Glen is entering a new chapter in its development with great opportunities knocking on our door. We are still a young village. We are now 17 years old. Unlike most Chicagoland communities that have reached maturity, we are in a position to create a village. Much of what we need to focus on relates laying to the foundation for our future. The choices we make now will shape Homer Glen's future. This is both an exciting and awesome responsibility. In 2017, the village board began a strategic planning process intended to create a roadmap for the next several years. Last April, the village conducted its first ever national citizen survey and randomized scientific survey to capture residents' opinions on aspects of community livability. The survey has been used by more than 300 communities in 45 states and is endorsed by the International City Council Management Association. The survey was administered at random to 1,500 households throughout the community, and we received 501 responses, accounting for a 34% response rate. To augment the city's citizen survey, the stakeholders workshop in January 2018 provided additional input. Village staff also prepared an environmental scan, providing further background. So the village board and staff then began formulating the village's first strategic plan. In February and March, the village board and staff engaged in a series of planning sessions to identify strategic priorities and desired outcomes. Our collaborative process with residents and stakeholders has identified 6 strategic priorities to include economic development, financial stability, growth, intergovernmental partnerships, recreation amenities, and infrastructure. We asked to respond, and 80% of the survey respondents indicated that making annual investments in municipal infrastructure was essential or very important to the village over the next 5 years. As part of the strategic plan, we are continuing to implement a long-term capital plan for the growing community's future. Furthermore, our plans call for developing a long-term strategy for water and sewer rates stabilization, creating a water and sewer utilities master plan, and implementing a long-term drainage improvement program. We asked and you responded. 77% of the survey respondents indicated that promoting and maintaining high-quality commercial development is essential, or very important for the village over the next 5 years. When asked what types of new development residents would like to see in Homer Glen, the top 3 categories were restaurants, parks, recreation areas, and retail stores. As part of our strategic plan, we are outlining several priorities to attract responsible commercial development in our community and provide clarity on the vision and strategy for our main commercial corridors and larger commercially zoned parcels. Our marketing and recruitment strategy will continue to tell a unique story of our community, and will seek to attract quality private investment in the village. We hear your wants and you're working hard every day to responsibly grow our community. We asked you to respond to one of the recurring findings from our survey that Homer Glen residents value parks and recreation amenities in the community. 74% of survey respondents indicated that making annual investment in parks and recreation facilities is essential or very important to the village over the next 5 years. To solidify commitment to parks and recreation, our strategic plan for the next 3 years outlines completion deadlines for phases of Heritage Park development. Furthermore, the plan calls for a revisit to the comprehensive Parks and Recreation Master Plan, last updated in 2013, and commits to the development of a master bike plan to expand our Trails Trail system and make regional connections. Furthermore, initiatives to develop the community programs and activities plan are a top priority over the next few years. We are currently in the process of creating a detailed action plan to guide our work over the next 3 years. We are on track to begin our strategic initiatives. I'm putting these on so I can see them. Sorry, I just must be vague. You don't want glasses on. Development of the Master Park Bike Plan and expand our Heroes Trail system. Furthermore, initiates to develop community programs and activates plan are a top priority in the next 2 years. We are currently in the process of creating a detailed action plan to guide our work over the next 3 years. We are on track to begin to tie our strategic incentives into the budget for our new fiscal year, beginning on May 1st. This strategic approach, based on us listening to you, will help ensure that the village keeps its efforts and resources focused on initiatives that directly relate to desired outcomes in the community. Strategic planning will formalize our goals to ensure that Homer Glen continues to be a community of choice. Our infrastructure is a strategic priority for the village of Homer Glen. Many of the village's ongoing initiatives focus on laying the foundation in our still very young village. We have been laying the groundwork for our future by improving our community's infrastructure, including roads, water, sewer utilities coverage, and stormwater drainage. The Village of Homer Glen has been proactive to assist our subdivisions and business owners' needs throughout the IDOT 159th Street project to expand and reconstruct the road from Wilcox Road to Galvin Road. Merchants know to call the village for timely assistance in regard to any unexpected issues during road construction. Most recently, the village was advised that the 159th Street project could take an additional, it was actually 2 years because they were saying 2020, with substantial completion not anticipated until the end of 2019. The village has been greatly concerned for the impacts, especially the businesses, from an increasing protracted time frame on the road project. It was time to get our state elected officials involved. So, with the help of Brian Burrian, he got the state to come down here, and the gentleman that ran IDOT take a look at what we were up against. And then Representative Jim Durkin, Senator John Curran mediated on their behalf, and we are grateful to their assistant, IDOT's Secretary of Transportation, Randy Blankenhorn, subsequently approved acceleration of the road project in Homer Glen in mid-March. IDOT is now expecting Homer Glen project to be substantially complete with a new 4-lane configuration by the calendar 2018. There will be additional items that need to be completed in 19, such as landscaping. I want to take this opportunity to thank all the Homer Glen residents for your cooperation during this road construction project, and I encourage each and every one of you to go out of your way to support local business owners. This improvement will be a great asset to our community and will serve to generate new economic development activity for years into the future. Homer Glen is taking control of its future with the upcoming construction of a $1.3 million water main along 159th Street from Cedar Road to Galvin Road, as well as the pending construction of the Fittyman Creek sanitary sewer main. The water main connected project contract is already awarded. The village is waiting for clearance from IDOT to access the right of way on the north side of 159th Street in order to begin construction. We expect access to be granted this summer, and construction of the main will take about 2 to 3 months. The engineering plans are being finalized for the sanitary sewer main project. This project should be out of bid next month. The system is being designed to be constructed from the west to the east service stubs at key points. The system should be operational for the properties on the west side by September of 2018. The full project should take 4 to 6 months to complete. Both of these utility extensions are essential to attract new commercial and residential development to the area. The village continues to build its foundation for a strong and prosperous future. The village board dedicated $742,000 in funding towards drainage improvement projects in Erin Hills, Woodbine, Meadowview, Chickasaw Hills, Wedgewood Highland subdivisions. The village board and staff have also focused efforts on improving the village code in a number of areas to be more user-friendly, business-friendly, and competitive for residential and commercial development opportunities. We have lowered our residential development impact fees by 35%. We now have a user-friendly chapter in the village code entitled Land Use and Site Development. The new code chapter consolidates and streamlines code language, corrects earlier deficiencies, and ensures consistency within the rest of the village code. We have updated our building code. The revised building code reflects substantial change in construction technology, building safety, energy conservation, and the built environment that we have taken place since the last update in 2007. We streamlined our plan unit development process. Smaller commercial and industrial developments involving a single building of less than 50,000 square feet now require only a site plan approval and no longer requires a public hearing for entitlement. Restaurants can now offer up to 15% of their seating in a new outdoor seating amenity for customers with a similar village building permit. The requirement for a special use permit is dropped. Similarly, liquor sales for retail and restaurants are subject to village board permit approval without the need for a special use permit. Our review of our use table for non-residential zoning districts is currently underway. Again, we are in the process of improving and updating our zoning code to be more user and business friendly. Financial stability is a strategic priority for the Village of Homer Glen. The village is committed to financial excellence and integrity. For the 16th year in a row now, the Village of Homer Glen has received a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. Thanks, John. Standard & Poor's reports the village's bond rating at AA+, a rating of strong capacity to meet all of our financial commitments. The village's $8.8 million general operating budget forecasted an operating surplus before transfers of $600,000 for our current fiscal year. The upcoming fiscal year will also have a balanced general fund, operating budget, and forecasted surplus. This budget will support outstanding services and a significant public park and stormwater improvements. On a very positive note, the village made its last payment on the incentive agreement with Homer Town Square last December. This means that the village now receives and retains 100% of the 1% sales tax generated from the Jewel Osco anchored shopping center, saving the village $135,000 next fiscal year. Economic development is a strategic priority for the village. Homeowners and businesses see the opportunities to have made tremendous investments in Homer Glen. Homer Glen welcomed 53 new single-family homes in our community last year and issued 241 new home permits over the last 5 years. Retailers are attracted to housing activity, so it is great to see this uptick. The village has been successful in attracting new businesses while at the same time expanding and retaining existing businesses. We are pleased that Menards has made a significant reinvestment in their Homer Glen store. Menards has added a new customer, mezzanine, and an improved special order area in the main store and has doubled their outdoor lumberyard. Popular Davidson's Bar and Grill expanded their footprint. Bank of America is in the process of building a new facility at 143rd and Bell. We welcome the following new businesses in 2017. Chipotle Mexican Grill, Starbucks, Wow Sushi, Canute's Pizza, Circle K Shell, Busey Bank, CIBC Bank, ISU Coverall Insurance Group, Sales Phillies, Blue Malnati's, Frontier Sura Mexican Restaurant, and the village realized $5.99 million of new construction and remodeling work by both new and existing businesses last year. The village board and I appreciate this confidence, and we thank every business that is investing in the strong, vibrant future of our community. Nearly 40,000 square feet of commercial space was filled as a result of new and retained business activity last year. 12 new businesses opened, 17 existing businesses were retained in Homer Glen through expansions, remodeling, and new ownership. The Hallmark Corporation acknowledged their confidence in Homer Glen when they took over our local store for the retiree franchisee. Front Row similarly took over Mullet's Restaurant, and national retailer Big Tex Trailer World acquired Wild Bill's RV and Outdoor Center. Our new businesses in 2018 include Infuego Furnishings, VIP Nails, and Enterprise Rent-A-Car. At Ease Craft Beer just opened last night. Last Saturday. We went there last night. More new businesses are on the way. We look forward to We Escape, a new escape room concept opening soon. Additionally, I have some breaking news. Dialysis Care Center has just purchased the former Midwest Bank building on Bell Road. The former bank building will undergo some improvements to become a national corporate headquarters for Dialysis Care Center. The new corporate headquarters will bring in 250 additional employees in the Homer Glen at this location. We look forward to Dialysis Care Center opening the U.S. headquarters in Homer Glen. The village's growing retail base generates a significant amount of sales tax revenue that helps the village operate without levy. I didn't do it. I got a big one, if I can continue. It's there. It's there, okay. The village's growth Its growing retail base generates a significant amount of sales tax that helps the village operate without leveling the municipal property tax or utility taxes for general operations. So I'm very happy to report that the retail sales are trending along. It's working with me too. Sales tax receipts. Year to date through March 2018, we are up by 4.9% over the same period of last year. We are on track to receive $3.5 million from the 1% sales tax by fiscal year end. Please remember, for every $100 you spend in Homer Glen, $1 comes back as sales tax revenue to support local roads, police, and community services. On March 14th, the village board provided initial approvals for new commercial center development at the southwest corner of 143rd Street in Belgrade. The overall planned unit development and Phase 1 site plan approved was granted for Homer Glen Bell Plaza on 9.4 acres at this prominent corner. The developer is in lease negotiations and intends to break ground in Phase 1 for the first 3 buildings this spring. The ultimate build-out will have 8 commercial buildings, adding about 45,000 square feet of inventory to our commercial space. The site plan also includes 2 positions for restaurants with drive-thrus and outdoor seating. The process for the time of development, the developer closed on purchase of the site and the village approvals just mentioned was very efficient, 2.5 months, and we got them all done. Homer Glen is open for business, so please help us spread the word. Several other properties are under contract. With significant potential to serve as catalyst for economic development. These key properties include a 13.5-acre site north of Home Depot, a 32-acre site property fronting 159th Street west of Cedar Road, and 120 acres of 159th Street, commonly known as Dunn Farm property. There is developmental prospects, and they're doing their due diligence and feasibility studies now. I'm looking forward to announce new development plans for any of these proposals and may move forward for formal considerations by the village board. Related to future development, the Village of Homer Glen recently formalized a boundary agreement with the Village of Vermont. A formalized planning and boundary agreement is beneficial for both of us, with the existing property owners and our 2 communities as we plan for future development. The agreement established 135th Street to Wilcock Road as the permanent boundary between Homer Glen and Lamont. Lamont gains access to the triangle area colored in pink, with the condition that future planning of the property be of commercial nature. Sales tax derived from this shared tax area will be split between the communities on a 50-50 basis. Property tax will be shared on a 50-50 basis in the event that the shared tax area does not produce sales tax. Moreover, Homer Glen has the ability to work with Lamont to access utility services for the property to the southeast of the triangle property for any future redevelopment. We appreciate the spirit of cooperation with the Village of Vermont to formalize an intergovernmental agreement. So thank you, John, and your board. Recreational amenities are a strategic priority for the village. We dedicated a new 2.7-acre farm for the community located in the Evelyn's Gate North subdivision last July. The new park features a picnic pavilion, playground, and walking path. We more recently completed a 3.5-acre public park next to the Goodings Grove subdivision. The new Goodings Grove Park includes a walking path, basketball court, playground, and a large picnic pavilion that is open to all Homer Glen residents. A grant from the Illinois Department of Natural Services in the amount of $170,500 supported about 37% of the cost of development of the new park. Park dedication ceremony is planned for July 14th. In conjunction with the dedication ceremony, the Parks and Recreation Committee is coordinating a special event featuring sidewalk and chalk art. There will be a judge competition among the participants and a number of featured artists. Will be on display. Please mark your calendars for Chalk It Up on Saturday, July 14th. The village is halfway through construction of Phase 1 improvements for Heritage Park, a new 100-acre park that will establish a focal point and gathering place for our community. Phase 1 work includes a 1.5-mile multi-purpose trail, site roadway, landscaping, lighting, utilities, and other work that will lay the foundation for future amenities. 136 new trees will be planted as part of Phase 1. Work will also begin this spring on the east portion of the site to construct stormwater wetlands, bioswales, and rain gardens as part of the water quality improvement project for Long Run Creek. Supported in part through Section 319 funding from the Illinois Environmental Protection Agencies. These improvements were also identified as solutions to improve drainage in the Woodbine subdivision area through a study that we conducted in 2015. We are excited to provide a beautiful landscape within Heritage Park, while also mitigating drainage uses in our community and improving water quality within our watershed. In total, the village will receive $521,704 in grant funding, covering 60% of the total project. The next area of Heritage Park to be constructed will be the active core. This area will include tennis courts, pickleball courts, sand volleyball courts, beanbag courts, bocce and horseshoe activity courts, fitness stations, and a challenge course. Nature-based play structures with a sensory garden with a variety of native habitats and educational components. The final design of the active core will be released in the near future. This area is expected to be substantially completed this coming fall. This is almost done too. As its complete build-out, Heritage Park will feature a village green with an amphitheater and performance stage, playgrounds and a disc golf course, splash pad, and so much more. This park will also be the future home of Homerfest in 2019, as well as our other community events. The village will be hosting an expanded annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony beginning in 2018. More events are in the planning stages. We look forward to opening the Heritage Park to residents. It is critical that we ensure residents can access the new park, so another Heroes Trail extension is in the early planning stages to provide neighborhood linkage to Heritage Park. The extension will link the existing Heroes Trail at its westward terminus at Heather Drive further west to the park. The village of Glen has a lack of local parks in the Old Oak, Golden Oak, and Chickasaw area. Goodings Grove Park School serves as a neighborhood park and playground for this area of the community. Additionally, local sports groups utilize the ball fields adjacent to the school on nights and weekends. The village recently completed an extension of the Heroes Trail and now connects the school site with the path system, making the park even more accessible to the local community. The Goodings Grove Parent-Teacher Organization has led a grassroots effort to have an outdated and well-worn playground area replaced with facilities that are modern and inclusive to all children. The Parents-Teacher operation has fostered intergovernmental cooperation and nonprofit assistance to help solve a local community need through fundraising activities. The PTO has committed $60,000 to School District 33C to update the playground facilities. The village plans to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with District 33C to have the village participate in funding the portion of this upgrade as the park serves as a local park amenity. The concept will be for the village to allocate $40,000. This funding, along with the $60,000 from the PTO, will be combined with the school district funding for a $250,000 budgeted park redevelopment. The park would also be available for public use after normal school hours in the afternoons, evenings, and weekends, as well as during the summer months. This is a great example of how government entities can work with the local community organizations to solve a community need in an efficient and cost-effective manner that benefits both the local taxpayers and the recreation needs of the neighborhood children. All of our hard work in the planning for parks, including listening to and involving the community in planning and design, is bearing results. The village trustees and I thank residents for your participation in the planning process, and we are proud to see these new parks facilities come online. Before I leave the topic of amenities, our new village hall at Heritage Park is also serving residential needs with the availability of a meeting space. The community room at the village hall has been available for residents for over a year now. We have around 9 HOAs that use it, as well as the Girl Scouts of Glen and the Juniors Women's Club. The available dates getting booked up quickly. The village trustees and I are pleased that our new village hall building is serving this meeting space need for the community. Balanced growth. Balanced growth is a strategic priority for the village. Our future is changing and we want to grow thoughtfully. We want to grow in a way that is acceptable for Homer Glen. The desired outcomes that have bubbled up in the course of our strategic planning process may include a more diverse housing stock, enhanced open space, and community character, and a more walkable community. The village board is taking time to figure out what our community wants, and this will be an evolving process. This truly is an exciting time in the shaping of our community for the future. In closing, we have a great community and much to be proud of in Homer Glen. Our village continues to be acknowledged for its quality of life and achievements ranging from safe city rankings to the excellence in financial reporting and environmental stewardship recognitions. Your continued active participation in the village initiates incentives is important as we move forward. The village trustees and I are happy to work with each of you here today as we continue to create Homer Glen's bright future. Please visit the village website to sign up for automatic news alerts and the mayor's block. The village Facebook page is just 1 year old and has over 1,000 followers. Please follow the village's Facebook page and contact the village staff when you need assistance. Thank you for your kind attention and for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us today. The village trustees, staff, and I will stay around to answer any questions you may have. You enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
And the Village of Homer Glen had a great presentation. And as everyone can see and hear, there's great things going on in Homer Glen now and a lot of great things to come forth. Thank you very much. And one last thank you to Lynn McGarry and Jody Edelman. They put this all together, so thank you. And one last reminder that the vendors will stay until 2 p.m. if anyone would like to go and check out the items that they have available. Thank you again.
I have 22 square miles of fire district, not one grocery store.
And that's what's going to be right in the heart of it.
Bingo. So he's like, you know what?
With the shopping center, which would have had other stores.
He apologized and said, I did not know that. And he's like, that gives me something to think about, like it does, doesn't it?
What's the Coquina thing?
Yeah, that area.